Chapter 14. I drove the moped around the block for a few laps and then deemed myself ready to buzz around on busier roads. The only time I became nervous was when I was surrounded by trucks. I quickly escaped by zooming ahead and turning down a road that led to the strip. I pulled into the casino parking lot and wedged the moped in a corner that had a sliver of space. It was prohibited, but taking up an entire space just for one little bike seemed wasteful. The tiny space was perfect for the moped, and it was closer to the door. I smiled at the moped. I was beginning to like that thing. Perhaps I could buy it off Sergio when he returns to Panama. I sighed. Sergio had to go back to Panama. Perhaps it was better that David stopped what couldn't have started. My emotions were on a sled ride, whooshing to the bottom, then struggling to climb to the steep, exhausting top.
Nadia.
I glanced over to see Remy jogging toward me. I hooked my helmet onto the handlebars and swung my leg over the bike to stand. What's going on, Remy?
Have you tried to call Grayson?
Yes, and I've tried to call you too.
That damn woman has taken over the entire casino. Grayson is so busy he can't see what's going on. I've tried talking to him, but Fiona is always next to him. I can't get him alone.
What about the men's room? Remy's face twisted into a knot, as if I'd suggested something dirty. I just meant that Fiona won't follow him into the men's room. Or would she?
I guess that's true, but it's not something I like to do.
I chuckled. It's not like there's a measurement competition or anything. Just start talking before he whips out his wand. Remy shivered.
I don't know why I talked to you.
Because you like me, and I had good advice this time.
Yeah, I guess, but there haven't been many opportunities to speak with him.
Remy shrugged.
How's it been going, Jet? You look a little red and puffy.
I was pepper sprayed.
Give me a name and I'll take care of it.
Remy's brow creased to form his all-business expression. Take care of it? I chuckled. What would you do? I pictured Remy looming over someone like a Halloween shadow until they passed out with fright.
I might accidentally punch him, or I could crack my knuckles a few times and he'll get the message. If I told Grayson, he might ban the guy from the casino.
Banned from the casino, That would make my life about 5% better. I didn't want to allow Katerina too much influence in my life, so she's only allowed to irritate me up to 5%. At least I can delude myself into thinking that. I'll take the banning option, I said.
Done. Who is he?
Katerina.
You've got to be kidding me. Katerina sprayed you?
Yes, and she stole the trophy. Dagor has it now because he kidnapped Katerina. Sergio and David are out to stop Dagor, collect the trophy, and find Katerina. Remy's eyebrows lifted sky high.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Back up the train. What the hell's going on? Why isn't Grayson in on this?
I called you both earlier when I was tagged with pepper spray and the trophy was stolen.
Fiona didn't let your call through?
I shook my head. She said no personal calls. I was calling for help and wanted to make sure Maya was safely inside the casino. She turned away Maya too. Remy gritted his teeth. The muscles on his neck bulged and pulsated. If there was an iron rod nearby, I'm sure he would have picked it up and bent it in half with a mighty roar. Let's head to the casino, I said, attempting to distract Remy. I want to make sure Maya is here.
I haven't seen her.
Are you sure?
Yes. I've been standing near the doorway for most of the day. Fiona's kept Grayson busy upstairs.
Busy upstairs? A zap hit me between the eyes, making me want to find that iron rod and smack Fiona over the head. Over Grayson's head, too. I reined in my temper. Worry about Maya first, then beat some bloody sense into Grayson. Can you call security and see if they're able to find her in the cameras? Remy had his phone out of his pocket and security on the line within seconds. While security was checking the monitors for Maya, Remy and I headed into the casino.
Double-check one more time,
Remy said.
Make sure she's not on site before I search elsewhere.
I pulled out my phone. I could easily call her and find out where she was. Maybe she was still shopping. We hadn't agreed on a meeting time. If she's looking at shoes, there's no telling when she might be done.
Let me know the minute she steps foot into the casino. Keep tabs on Katerina, too. I want to know if she's in the casino as well.
He ended the call.
That way, we know if she escaped Dagor.
I dialed Maya and listened to it ring. Her voicemail picked up on the 5th ring. I left her a message to call me back immediately. "Remy, I'm scared," I said as I tucked the phone into my pocket. He cursed under his breath.
Tell me everything you know. Let's head up to Grayson's. I'm taking him hostage. I'll be damned if that conniving woman is going to stop me. We could have had everything under control had it not been for her meddling.
I jogged behind Remy's brisk pace, stepping twice for every long stride he took. By the time we reached the elevator, I was huffing. Remy and I stepped inside the elevator. He swiped his badge for the top floor. Nothing happened. He swiped it again, and again. The elevator stood motionless.
You've got to be kidding me.
Remy growled. "What's wrong?" Remy whipped out his phone.
Why doesn't my keycard work for the top floor?
He barked in the phone. I could only assume he was talking to security.
Are you shitting me? I was hired to protect Grayson and I can't access his floor. Does she have the authority to do this?
Remy's neck veins pulsated. I stepped away just in case they burst.
How much access do I have?
His fingers curled into a tight fist. I stepped farther away, but I didn't have much more room.
Damn it. How the hell am I supposed to protect the idiot when I can't even talk to or get near him? Never mind. Just find Maya and route my calls through Steffi.
He ended the call and flexed his fingers. He breathed in a calming breath and collected himself. In a swift motion, he strode out of the elevator. I followed on his heels.
Let's find Maya. I can't do anything about Grayson right now. Maya is our priority. Tell me everything that's happened.
I nodded as I jogged behind him to his Cadillac located in the parking lot. We hopped in, and Remy revved the engine to life.
Now spill it,
He said, pulling out of the parking lot.
I want every single detail, even if it's insignificant.
Oh boy, that was a lot of details. I didn't even know if I could remember it all, or assemble it in any sort of order. I had to at least try. I relayed the story from the break-ins and David's reappearance. By the time I was up to when Dagor was going to meet Sergio to blow up Maya's house, we were sitting a block away from her house. Remy shook his head when I finished the story.
You know those little dog collars that have cameras attached?
I've seen them on TV. Why?
I'm buying one and locking it around your neck. I'm surprised you're still alive. I could monitor your every movement and keep you out of trouble.
He must be kidding, though Remy may resort to the drastic measure someday. I squirmed in my seat. You're supposed to protect Grayson, not me, I reminded him.
Grayson is on his own right now. He and I will have words later. Right now, you and I will find Maya.
Do we just sit here and watch for her?
I don't want to go in if Dagor is watching the house. David and Sergio should be around somewhere. We need to locate everyone before I take any risks.
Why is the trophy so important? It's a twisted hunk of junk right now, but everyone wants it.
I have no idea. From your description, I think it was designed to melt easily. That way something can be hidden in it but not destroyed when it comes time to retrieve it. It must contain something of value for such a frenzy.
I guess we'll never know since no one is talking. And now Dagor has the trophy.
I'll get David to talk.
I nodded, but I didn't believe he could extract the truth out of David. You don't happen to have anything to eat, do you? I'm starving. I can't remember when I ate last.
You do look a little too skinny,
he said, inspecting me. I've never been too skinny, but my stomach is so hungry it's eating itself.
A lot of girls say they aren't too skinny, but they are. Men aren't into size 0 bodies. I'm not saying we don't look, but that's not what we want in the bedroom. There needs to be some booty and big breasts to keep it interesting.
Is it customary to talk about booty and boobs while on a stakeout?
This isn't a stakeout, Jet. But yes, normally you can talk about anything because it can be a long, boring wait.
I smiled when he called me Jet. He gave me that nickname when I was all hopped up on my own strength from my round with the punching bag. I thought for sure he couldn't force me into the casino to see Grayson, but I was wrong. I still have a welt from when I accidentally kicked the elevator door frame. Remy pressed the unlock button. The back door opened and David slid in. "How did you find us?" I asked. "Where's Maya?" David's eyes widened.
You said Maya was heading to the casino to meet you.
She wasn't there when I arrived, and I can't reach her on her cell phone. Remy drove us here to make sure she doesn't try to return home first.
Shit.
David ran his hand through his dark hair.
Dagor hasn't shown up either. It's way past the 30 minutes.
"Where's Sergio?" I asked.
He's hiding on the side of the house waiting for Dagor. He's called Dagor several times, but so far it's just ringing.
I've asked security to keep an eye out for Maya in case she arrives at the casino.
Remy said.
I don't like it. Both Maya and Dagor aren't answering their phones.
He eyed David from the rearview mirror.
What's in the trophy?
Data.
What kind of data?
I'll tell you later.
Remy nodded, but I wanted answers. What was the big secret? Why couldn't we know when it was our necks on the line? I took Remy's lead and remained silent. I didn't like it.
Do you want us to wait here?
Remy asked.
Let's wait 5 or 10 minutes.
David turned to me.
How well do you know Sergio?
I hardly know him. He smells good, though. David and Remy groaned.
We don't care how he smells, goofball.
David teased.
And you aren't going to know him well enough to continue down that path.
I can see who I want, I said.
No, you can't.
David said.
And that goes for seeing Grayson, too.
I bristled. Not that I want to see Grayson since he's currently an idiot, but you can't tell me who I can or cannot see. Thank heavens you didn't have a little sister. She'd hop on the back of the first motorcycle she saw just to spite you.
I'm looking out for you. Sergio is heading back home after this, and I don't know if I trust him. And Grayson. Well, you already know he's married to his work. Girls are clueless when it comes to dating. They date the wrong guy and completely miss the right guy.
I rolled my eyes. He might have a point in a very general sense. And what guy have I been missing? David leaned back and smirked knowingly.
I'll let you know. Neither you nor he are ready. You'll just have to wait.
I narrowed my eyes. Remy shook his head and chuckled.
Can we return to the topic at hand?
Remy asked.
Maya isn't here, and Dagor is MIA.
Remy's phone rang. He answered it with his standard,
Remy. She's there. Can you double-check and make sure?
I smiled. Maya was at the casino and safe. David and Sergio could sort out Dagor, and I could have a margarita with Maya and trash-talk Fiona.
Keep tabs on her. I'll check in again.
Remy ended the call.
Katerina is in the casino, but not Maya.
How's that possible? I asked. How could Katerina be kidnapped and then walk into the casino only hours later?
We know she wanted the trophy since she took it from you, but I don't understand why she would want it.
David said. She's working for Pierre, the French guy. How much is the trophy worth?
It depends who you're selling it to. To the right party, you could sell it for $1 million easily.
$1 million? I sputtered. Well, it answers the question as to why Katerina is involved. She's tapped out and has been attempting to coerce Grayson to lend her a buy-in so she can get back to the tables. Pierre offered her 100 grand to retrieve the trophy.
Has he been hanging around?
I've seen him before. He's so nondescript and average that I don't notice him.
The best agents are like that. The more average, the better. Government and Secret Service agencies know that if they place an everyday Joe look-alike into the mix, they aren't as likely to be picked up by someone because of telltale characteristics.
This guy could win an award. I never remember exactly what he looks like.
That would be the perfect agent.
He's a good guy?
He's in the good guy range. But I wouldn't trust him and don't want him to have the trophy if I can help it. If he hands it over to the military, it could start a war.
A war? I gulped. And here I thought it was just a hunk of junk.
Remy, return to the casino and drill Katerina on Dagor and the agent. See what she knows and what she was told to do. She's not acting on her own right now, so be wary. We already know she has pepper spray. Nadia, go with Remy and sit tight. I don't want you getting involved, but I don't want you at home either.
I nodded. If there were foreign agents, Daegor, and pepper spray involved, I wanted nothing to do with it. I could wait in the lounge or maybe play a few hands. It was the chicken way out, but I wasn't feeling too confident. Remy could handle Katerina on his own. David slid out of the Cadillac and disappeared. Remy started the engine and pulled away from the curb. I tapped my foot and hummed, "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star," while Remy drove us back to the casino. He flicked a few curious glances my way. "It's calming," I explained. "I have so much nervous energy, I could power Vegas."
Don't worry about anything right now except keeping yourself out of danger. Once we arrive at the casino, I'll find Katerina. She has a way of making men talk. I'm hoping she used those skills on Daegor and Pierre. It's the only possible reason she's alive and free.
I shuddered. Yuck. Remy chuckled.
She isn't my cup of tea, but most men who see large cleavage would do anything to see the rest.
I groaned. I don't want to talk about Kat's cleavage. Why isn't she your cup of tea?
I like classy, not trashy.
Really? I pictured you as the trashy type.
Are you kidding me? I have a Cadillac. Trash isn't allowed in a caddy.
Caddies are also the choice of pimps. Remy's lips thinned into a straight line.
Jet, you need to take that back.
No way, I said with a grin. Remy could make a person nervous and timid when he's angry, mostly because of his size and gorilla strength. Teasing him about his caddy was fun, and it took my mind off of Maya. Whenever I see a pimp in a movie, he always has a large white caddy, an ugly fur coat, and a fedora with a red feather.
That's not how it is in the real world. The movie industry took the good name of Cadillac and smudged it.
While movies aren't always accurate, there are truths in it. You can't watch tons of movies where they all have pimps with caddies and then tell me it isn't true. It's now the pimp industry standard. Pimps today will drive caddies just to be like the pimps in the movies. It's an evolutionary cycle.
An evolutionary cycle based on movies? That's absurd, Jet.
You're just mad because it's true.
It's not true. I saw a pimp the other day with a hybrid.
I can't imagine a pimp with a hybrid. That doesn't seem right.
I'm just telling you what I saw. The man may have some business sense and is economical. It would be less of a target for cops.
So, you admit that cops may not look for a pimp in a hybrid, but they certainly would look for a tricked-out caddy in the slums. I grinned.
I'm bringing back the Cadillac and making a new evolutionary cycle.
You're not making a good case. He threw me a cutting glare that I took as a warning.
How am I not making a good case for it?
This was just too easy. If I had known men's egos were attached to their cars, I would have used this to my advantage long ago. But I should give Remy a break. He was my ride, and currently, my protector. I just mean you don't seem the type to go around playing tennis or golf at the country club. You're more badass. You probably have 4 guns hidden in your car.
5.
His ruffled feathers were smoothing over. You have 5 guns in here?
5 that are hidden. I'm carrying 2.
That seems like an excessive amount of weapons. He shrugged.
I'd rather have them than not. I like them.
Do you sleep with one under your pillow? I bet you have hidden compartments under your bed. Do you have a fake wall that turns into an artillery display when you push a secret button?
Jet, you're walking a fine line. If Grayson was around, I'd ask if I'm allowed to cuff you and leave you somewhere. Maybe I'll do it anyway.
I grinned ear to ear. This was the most entertainment I'd had in a while, and Remy couldn't do anything about it. Your threats don't scare me, Remy. I know how to annoy you. You couldn't keep me cuffed long. You'd let me go just to get rid of me. Remy groaned and steered into the casino parking lot.
Get your ass inside. Wait for me at the bar. I'll contact security to make a sweep for Kat and Maya. I'll meet you back at the bar. Do not leave the area.
I nodded and stepped out of the car. Remy followed me, then veered off in a different direction. He was tall enough that I could see him move through the sea of casino enthusiasts, but eventually he was out of sight. I made my way to the bar. I placed my drink order with a cocktail waitress and sunk into a chair with a small table next to it. I may as well start with a margarita. Hopefully Maya would be along soon to catch up with me. My eyes drifted through the bar. It was decorated in the same casino theme, underwater with ancient ruined pillars and artifacts. Fish swam through the glass ceiling and walls. A starfish hung out next to me. I lightly tapped on the glass to say hello. He didn't seem in the mood to talk, so I left him alone. This is the bar where I met Grayson. Unfortunately, the circumstance of our meeting was embarrassing. And even though I dumped my drink on Grayson's head, I wouldn't have changed a thing. Otherwise, we'd never have met. As I sipped my margarita, I watched casino patrons through the glass. It was a sea of slot machines and lights. A walkway gap allowed patrons through and around the machines. It was first-rate for people watching. I especially enjoyed watching the men who wore socks with their sandals and carried a fruity drink in a neon plastic cup with a swirly straw. My lips curved in amusement. The margarita eased my stress. Remy, David, and Sergio were working hard to retrieve the trophy, find Maya, and neutralize Dagor. There wasn't much I could do, and they didn't want my help. After my rounds with Dagor and Katerina, I wasn't keen on getting bruised or sprayed, but I didn't want to wait either. If Grayson was able to help, then there would be one more person on the lookout. I dug out my phone and pressed Grayson's name in the contact book. It automatically dialed his number.
Fiona Watkins speaking. How may I help you?
Her syrupy, polite greeting was caustic to my ear. You already know who this is. I want to speak with Grayson.
I'm sorry, but he's busy. Would you care to leave a message?
Where is he?
He's here with me.
She nearly purred. Her intonation wasn't lost. I understood what she was implying. And normally, Grayson was attracted to women like her. I wasn't on the phone to fight for Grayson. I was on the phone for his help. This is a family emergency. Please give him the phone.
You'll need to set up an appointment.
My fingers coiled around the phone with a python grip and squeezed until I was sure circuits and wires would pop out. Fine, I hissed through gritted teeth. When is he free?
He'll be busy for the next 3 months.
Did you even look at the calendar?
I didn't have to.
I was sure I heard the phone's casing crack from my grip. How far away is he?
He's right next to me.
She said, as if with a giant smile. My patience was at the end. If he was truly next to her, he would hear a loud noise. I took a deep breath and screamed in the most annoying, blood-chilling, high-frequency B-movie scream I could produce. Hundreds of eyes were on me in a nanosecond. Everyone stopped what they were doing and froze at my scream. I listened in the phone.
What was that?
I heard Grayson in the background.
Wrong number.
Fiona hung up. Damn it! I slammed the phone onto the table. A security guard appeared next to me.
Ma'am, you'll need to come with me.
I want to talk to Grayson Miller. The guard gave me a second glance.
Sorry, no one can talk to him unless it's business, and even then you have to go through Fiona Watkins. Please come with me.
I stood and followed him through the casino and out to the lobby. Eyes from every corner of the casino followed the guard and me until we were beyond their sight. I wasn't too shaken by being escorted like a naughty child to the lobby. I knew it would attract someone's attention. Unfortunately, it attracted trouble too. Remy would sort it out when he came to collect me. How can I get in touch with Grayson? I asked.
You can't.
Do they just stay up in the penthouse? He nodded. There was a moment when I perceived he was going to say more, but he clammed up. What do you think they do up there all day? She goes home at night, doesn't she? He opened his mouth. I could tell I hit upon something. But again, he clammed up. I waited to see if he would speak. We arrived at the front doors, and he was ready to kick me out.
As far as I know, they work,
He said.
even if they never leave his penthouse.
They never leave? He shook his head.
You didn't hear it from me.
My hand fisted into a knot. They never leave? She was just hired, so it's not like they've been shacked up like newlyweds for weeks. But I didn't like the fact that she hasn't left his penthouse. Was she sleeping on the couch or with Grayson? My blood boiled. Yes, he gave us a 6-month break. And yes, he's free to do what he wants. And I'm free to do what I want. But that doesn't give him the right to cut me off and leave me stranded with pepper spray in my eyes and Maya missing. I tapped my foot. Do you know who I am? I asked the guard. He nodded his head.
I know who you are. I also know that Mr. Miller wouldn't keep you out if he knew you were down here. I'm just following orders.
Can you escort me to the penthouse?
No one has penthouse access except for Grayson and Fiona.
What about housekeeping?
Fiona lets them in.
How did Fiona get so much security clearance? The guard shifted.
Assistant directors normally rank top security clearance, but she's abusing it. As far as I know, Mr. Miller isn't aware of what's happening below his penthouse. No one can get word to him.
That's not like him. He always knows what's going on. The guard's eyes shifted, and he lowered his voice.
The word is he's not working but is having relations, if you know what I mean.
I don't buy it. I'm not saying he wouldn't have sex with her. But he's married to his job. It comes first, and women come second or third. I'm not sure on the placement exactly, but I know it's not first. He shrugged.
All I know is what's being said by the employees. Some of them are saying she's a witch and has been keeping him hostage, but that's just nonsense.
Or is it? Perhaps the few sips of margarita had affected me, but maybe she did take him hostage. He wasn't taking his own phone calls, and he hasn't left the penthouse. Could it be so far-fetched to consider that she had some sort of hold on him to keep him in line? Drugs?
I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to leave.
The guard said. Can you get in touch with Remy? I'm not supposed to leave without him.
I'll tell him you left.
I smirked. Because you were nice, I'll warn you not to tell him yourself. Have your boss tell him. Remy will hit the roof when he finds out. I stepped out the door and headed toward the parking lot. I had no intention of leaving. Now, I knew exactly what to do. I was going to sneak to the top of the Lost City Casino and into Grayson's penthouse even if it killed me.